Why aren't you rich yet? There's reasons deeper than the surface level. People are going to say, oh, the government, oh, mega corporations, they have their foot on our necks, the golden handcuffs. Yes, but there's more reasons that I'm going to uncover. But I want to skip the social media hot topics, right? Because we always talk about that, and go a little bit deeper. Because those same entities that are rich, the mega corporations, these rich individuals, they have learned these concepts that I'm about to share. They really understand money. And because of that, they can use free and paid information to their advantage. And so can we. So after this video, you'll know exactly what to do, and you can get started today making real money off of free and paid information. Let's get it. There are 4 main motivators for money. And if none of these 4 speak to you, then you are in the 5th category, which I'll get to. There's movement, which means you would like money to buy you freedom, right? Buy your time back. You don't necessarily want to be working a 9 to 5 for 40 plus years. You want to travel where you want. You want to have ability to do what you want when you want to. There's materials. You like nice things. I'm obviously a materialistic person, right? I like nice things. I don't care unapologetically. I like nice cars. I like nice vacations. I like a nice home. I like nice clothes. You want the finer things in life because you know it comes with a certain level of service and quality. Then we have status. I want to be treated good, right? I want to know that because I paid for this business class ticket, yeah, we're both going to go to Dubai, but I'm going to Dubai, right? I'm going to get champagne before I can even sit down on the flight. I'm going to be in the bar in the sky, right? I'm going to take a shower on the plane if I want to, right? That's a different level of status. I'll go into nicer stores. They're going to treat me better. I go to high-end hotels because I get treated better. If I give people bigger tips, they're going to treat me with more respect because they respect somebody who shares their wealth with them. And then there's social, right? You have a good family you want to take care of. You don't want your kids to want for anything. Maybe you have a big social group and you want to throw nice parties for them, give everybody nice gifts, right? Those are the 4 money motivators. If none of those really speak to you, then you may be in a survival mode where you can't even think about nice things or status or fancy this and that because you just need money to get your bills paid. And if you really want help to figure out what your main motivator is, I created a quiz. It's going to be linked below. So I think it's like 5 minutes to do, and then you'll figure out what your motivator is and it'll give you some tips. So check that out after you finish. So what motivates you to make money? Because depending on that, you have to listen to certain people. If your motivation is because you want material things, you should probably listen to me because I've been able to acquire that, right? You shouldn't listen to somebody who's telling you to just eat baked beans and drive the same car for 10 years because you don't want that. And then even if you know what motivates you, how much money do you even need? Have you ever quantified how much your lifestyle would cost? I have another free resource. The Money Motivator Quiz is free, and this is also free. It helps you calculate what your dream income is. You're going to put in a perfect world, what would be what you pay for your house or your mortgage if you had a car payment? I know if you were super rich, you probably wouldn't have a car payment, but stick with me, right? How much would you pay on your car? How much what would you buy shopping? How much would you be saving and investing every single month? Enter all these different factors in, and then I put in like a little calculation for taxes, and it lets you know, based on that number, how much do you need to make? So not only do you know what motivates you, I like nice things, I want to travel, I want to take care of my family, and in order to do all of these things, it costs me $250,000 a year, right? Boom. You know who you are, you know where you need to go. And this will help you navigating the world too, because I've had family members say to me, oh my God, you're switching jobs again. Like, why are you switching jobs again? And it's because I'm not them. And I'm not going to say that, that's rude, but I'm not you. I don't want to stay at a job for 30 years because my motivator is materials. And I know if I stay at the same job every single year, I'm going to get a BS 3% raise, maybe 5 if they feel it freaky. So if you know who you are and you know what you're going for, when people approach you in life, you can automatically take a stop and think when they're giving you unsolicited advice or these opinions, you just stop and say, would I trade lives with them? And if they're not living a life in accordance with what you want and how much money you want to make, use them as anti-confirmation. Know that if they are disagreeing with what you're saying, you're probably on the right track. And on the topic of knowing who to listen to, right? Once you know who you are and what money you want to make, now you know who to look for on these internet streets. There are 3 types of mentors, and this is from the book, The Next 5 Business Moves by Patrick Bet-David, which if you want, I have it linked in my Amazon storefront. Like I get, I don't know, like 15 cents. You're not going to make me rich if you buy it, but like definitely use my link if I put you on. But it's an amazing book if you are somebody who's really business minded and you want to take steps in starting on your own business. Anyway, so in the book, he says that there's 3 different type of mentors. There's the theorist, the witness, and the applier. Okay. The theorist is just somebody that knows something because they've heard about it, right? Or maybe they've learned about it. You might be triggered by this, but I'm not here to make everybody feel warm and fuzzy, right? Teachers are theorists. You're not required to have a successful business before becoming a high school business teacher. You're not required to go into the lab and be putting chemicals together before you're teaching chemistry to these high school students. You know what I'm saying? You don't need applied knowledge. You just need to have the book smarts, really. These are also people in your life who have never accomplished what you're setting out to do, but they have thousands of opinions, okay? They are theorists. These are also people who might have introduced a concept, but they've never actually done it before. It doesn't mean you just discard them altogether, but I think that they're great for challenging your belief system or just maybe putting some new information in your brain. They might say something like, oh, you should invest. And that might be a good idea. They may never have money, but that might still be something valid to listen to, okay? So you could take what they say with a very little grain of salt. Then you have the witness, which is somebody who's been more introduced, right? So it's a step further from the theorist. They know it and they've actually done something like it. If you ever see me post a video about like millionaire or something, I'm only a witness. I've been a CPA for the past 9 years and I have never worked for a company that didn't make at least $1 billion a year. So I'm in their finances quarter after quarter. I am literally in the weeds. However, I have not made millions of dollars. So anything that I told you about millionaires would just be from my experience with preparing their financials, right? Being in the rooms of CEOs, figuring out how they word things, what business moves they're going to make, right? I've just been in these rooms, but I don't necessarily have that money. I can't tell you what it feels like to be in fear of losing it all, or people hating you because your dreams came true, but now they resent you because you're just so rich off of your dreams. Maybe if you're thinking about somebody who has never had kids, but they were the oldest of 5, right? They have a good amount of experience, but you didn't birth that kid. You don't know what it's like to be so exhausted from working all day at your job, and then you're coming home to a kid trying to interact with you, and all you want to do is sleep. As the oldest child, you might have witnessed that. You might have had to even step up as an acting parent, but you haven't actually been the parent. Then you have the applier, someone who's actually applied whatever it is you're going for, whether it's losing weight, making money, starting a business, whatever, right? The applier has actually gone through all 3 stages. They were introduced to the idea, they've witnessed the idea, and they've gone all in. They can tell you about the art and the science behind what's going on. Most people online will tell you the strategy. Oh, just do this, just do that, right? But they haven't actually done it. Someone who's actually applied it can say, listen, I've done this. Here's what you do. Here's what obstacles you're going to face. Here's how it felt. The most important thing. Because people can teach strategy all day long, but the emotions, the mental blocks, right? If you want to come to me and learn how to create multiple 6 figures online, I can do that. I have gone through it. I've been online since 2019 for the past 5 years, scaling this from making literally nothing in the first 11 months to tens of thousands of dollars every single month. I know the strategy, but I also know exactly how it feels to put your all into these videos and nothing happens, to go months without getting any deals and then followed by amazing months. I can help you through the emotional roadblocks, which really is what stops people, right? Fear, anxiety, worry, stress. I can help you navigate through that. When you've applied something, you've been in the thick of it. So if you're listening to the wrong person, you're not going to get rich off this information, right? You have to figure out who's worth listening to. In the application, this is who I would invest money with, right? So for the witness, you can get a little bit more insight, but if you're looking to invest, you're looking for coaching, you're looking for courses, I would invest in somebody who actually applied it. So you're not going to see me selling, like millionaire secrets or millionaire courses because I haven't been that. But I will definitely be selling things, coaching and courses about managing a stressful business and a stressful 9-to-5, making multiple 6 figures with multiple skills. You'll see me talk about that because I've actually done that. So figure out who's actually doing the work and then you put a lot of your effort into that person's work. Then in order to make money, you have to take a risk, right? So there's free information all over the place. Sure. But what are you doing with it? Are you just leaving it in your saves? Oh, I'm going to save this video. I'm going to put it to my watch later. I'm going to put it in my like videos. I'm going to save it to my collections or whatever on Instagram. Like, how often are you going back? How often are you actually taking action on these things? I listen to a lot of CEO interviews because it's interesting seeing a CEO founder and like listening to their thought process. These people make money, so I want to know what you're thinking about. And almost all of them, in fact, all of them, at some point had to take a risk, right? They had to quit their job that felt secure and go all in when everybody is literally telling them, you are an idiot. Most of us are not wired to be risk takers. We actually have literal things in our brain stopping us and instilling fear in us to protect us. And you have to let your body know that you have to feel the fear and do it anyways. If you've ever been jumping off of a cliff or something, it might look scary, but you still got to do it. You know you're going to be fine. Then this is the hardest part. You have to literally have split personalities, okay? Because once you move up the money ladder, it requires an entirely different version of you. And I made this chart to just highlight some of the differences, right? So when you're first starting out with money, yeah, maybe you need to save your money because you need to be a little bit more safe. Okay. But after a certain level of money, you have all this savings, right? Like at one point I had 6 figures of just cash just sitting around. You have to just act on that because that money is making no money. So at first you have to develop that, okay, no, I got to save. I have to be prudent. I have to build it up. And then eventually you have to say, no, I have to invest this money because it's just sitting here doing nothing, right? Getting eaten up by inflation. Maybe at first you have to be financially responsible, right? Because you have more time than you have money. So maybe it makes sense for you to clean your own house and buy your own groceries. But eventually you have to be irresponsible and realize that you have to delegate these little tasks out. Why are you spending 2 hours cleaning? 2 hours could be you making a whole video, right? This video takes me about 2 hours to make. I could be making money instead of cleaning dishes. Maybe things like a 401k make sense in the beginning because you don't really have a lot of financial education. So doing something is better than doing nothing, right? But once you get more seasoned and you get good at making money on your own, you have to figure out other ways to allocate your investments, not just in a 401k that's going to lock it up, right? Maybe you have a custom retirement plan that you're making investments that will cash flow now and they will appreciate in value. At some point, they're telling you to diversify your money. Yeah, because you're not really knowing anything about really anything. When you're first starting out your financial journey, it might make sense to just invest in like index funds or something like this because it's literally better than nothing. But once you've really mastered a skill, like if you've really, for me, I've mastered accounting, I've mastered social media, right? Every time I touch a different social media account, I get tens of thousands of followers, right? I'm really good at that. I need to go all in on those things and not worry about diversifying my income because this is my cash cow and I need to really hone in on this skill. At first, if you don't have the capital, you have to be a little bit more hands-on. Maybe you should learn about taxes. Maybe you should learn a little bit more about whatever, legal. You have to be like a jack of all trades, right? But then in order to grow, look at all these businesses. Well, how are they so big? They start delegating. So at a certain point, you can't keep on holding on to all of the skills. You have to start teaching other people what you know so your money can actually grow because then you have other people going to work and you can maintain the role of CEO founder. And as you can see, those are two totally different people. And one person has to exist inside of you, right? So once you master all these things, it'll be easy for you to make money online because you're going to know who to listen to. You're going to have an understanding of who you are. You'll be able to easily weed out who's who, and then you'll be able to act on all of this information. So let's recap, and I have some homework for you. Figure out what your dream life means to you. You can do that through journaling. Definitely use my dream income calculator. That is like a non-negotiable. You need to know where you're going. You need to know what is your target income. You need to know what motivates you money-wise. These tools are free, right? They're going to take you not that long. Within an hour, you're going to already have a good understanding of who you are and how much money you need to make and why you need to make that money. Then number 2, you're going to figure out who are the theorists, the witness, and who are the appliers in your life. And based on that, know who to get little inspiration from, who to listen for some more intel, and who to go all in on, right? Respectively. Invest in appliers' work. You have to invest. I have spent thousands of dollars on coaching and courses. It's a non-negotiable, okay? But you make sure you know who you're dealing with first. Then you have to assess and take some risks. Obviously, don't go crazy here, but figure out what your risk appetite is. That way you know what investments you can make. You could probably, if you're someone who's super risk adverse, start off with some safer investments. Start off with some safer risk. But you have to ultimately go up the risk curve because greater risk, greater reward. We've always heard that. It's true. Figure out which side of the chart you are on and figure out when you need to flip over to the other side and become a little bit more aggressive. These are all the things that I have done to go from literally having a roach infested house to this being my living room now, right? I used to have my daughter's crib in the living room because there was no space in my bedroom because my mama was in there. Like I had a lot going on. And it wasn't until I really mastered the art and the science of money to where I started seeing some real results. I'll be talking about that in great length. I think the next video is going to be about the 6 faculties that humans have that literally nobody else in this entire world has. And you'd be foolish to not lean in on those. Definitely follow me. I have a book club. If it's not out right now, it's coming up on School. You're definitely going to want to check that out. Everything is linked below, and I will see you next time.